ask you a question? When was the last time you stopped and honestly asked yourself, who am I becoming? Not who you used to be, not who people expect you to be, who you're becoming. Because every decision, every habit, every relationship, every excuse is shaping the person you'll be tomorrow. And most people don't realize they're building a future until they're already living it. I think one of the biggest misconceptions people have about change is believing it happens overnight. It doesn't. Nobody wakes up one morning completely different. You become a different person little by little, one decision at a time, one habit at a time, one conversation at a time. The problem is, the opposite is true too. You don't drift into a bad place overnight. You drift there because of small choices that didn't seem important at the time. That's why I believe your future isn't built by the big moments. It's built by the ordinary ones. Every day, your habits are casting a vote for the person you're becoming. If you choose discipline, you're voting for a disciplined future. If you choose excuses, you're voting for a future filled with more excuses. Your habits don't care what your goals are. They only reflect what you're consistently doing. That's why people stay frustrated. They want one future while living habits that build another. One thing I've learned is that people confuse their history with their identity. Maybe you've been incarcerated. Maybe you've battled addiction. Maybe you've experienced trauma. Maybe you've made decisions you wish you could take back. Those things happened. They're real, but they don't have to become your identity. Your identity isn't built by your worst chapter. It's built by what you choose to do next. That's why I say it all the time. Your past explains you. It doesn't excuse you. And it definitely doesn't have to define you. People hear the word accountability and they immediately think criticism, punishment, failure. I don't. I think accountability is one of the greatest forms of freedom. Because the moment you stop blaming, you start taking control. That's where real change begins. Not when life gets easier, when you become more honest. Honest about your choices. Honest about your habits. Honest about where you're headed. Because honesty creates direction. Excuses create circles. That's one of the reasons I created Corrections Reflections. Not just to give people a place to tell their story, but to help people decide what comes after their story. That's why we have these podcast conversations. That's why we build mentorship programs. That's why I wrote the Guilty series. Different resources, but one mission. Helping people stop living as prisoners of their past and start becoming the person they were created to be. If you're listening today and you feel stuck, I want you to know something. Being stuck doesn't have to be permanent. Sometimes all it takes is one honest conversation, one new habit, one decision to stop running. Five years from now, you'll meet the person you're building today. That person is being shaped by your decisions, not your intentions, not your wishes, your decisions. So if there's something you know you need to change, don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for next month. Don't wait until life feels perfect. Start today. Because the best version of you isn't found, it's built. One decision at a time. If today's conversation connected with you, I want to invite you to keep growing with us. Here at Corrections Reflections, we're building more than a podcast. We're building a community centered around accountability, healing, and real change. If you're looking for deeper conversations, check out our other podcast episodes. If you're ready to take the next step personally, learn more about our mentorship programs. And if you'd like to hear more of my own story and the lessons I've learned along the way, the Guilty series is available as well. You'll find everything at the Corrections Reflections website. Remember this, your future isn't decided by your past. It's decided by what you choose to do today. So I'll leave you with one question. Who are you becoming?